So yesterday everything has been uploaded, and now today I am going to start where we left yesterday. Let me start the things. Is it my screen is visible, right? No worries, I will get another class video recording because your class recording I am not getting where I kept, but don't worry. Okay, we'll get it some other class recording. Hmm, hmm. Had your lunch? Then why you didn't ask these things with Rupa? See, not have lunch yet. Seems she is saying like Divya didn't ask about this. She is saying like see you didn't ask about her. Divya, after the class, please reach to this Div. Sorry, Drupa. Both the name has been confusing. After class, reach to this Divya. Okay. Now let's start the class. We'd seen yesterday exception handling, and what is the exception handling? Can anyone tell me the in one line statement why we are going to learn why we learned exception handling? Anyone? Syntax error cannot be handled by exception handling. Syntax error is your programmer's responsibility to solve these things. Exception error like runtime error, if you are getting any kind of runtime, what is the runtime error? The zero division error kind of thing. These are the runtime error. So if these are the things is coming, like then we should handle these things. Okay. So we have seen these things, and now afterwards we have started the oops concept as well. What is the oops concept? And I have explained about the oops concept with my whiteboard. So we have discussed in this whiteboard, we have discussed like okay, let's suppose you need one phone. What you will do, you will go to the market, and in the market there is a multiple type of shops will be available, like grocery shops will be, electrical shop, electronic shop will be, vegetable shops will be. So which shop you will select? First, the selection of the shop, right? It means selection of the class. This is called class. And inside of class is what? Class is blueprint of object, and it not take any space in the memory, right? That also we have seen. And why it not take the space in the memory? Because it is it's really it's not exist. It's a like, okay, electronic shop is like a class. Okay. And now we are going to the scientist group of scientists is a class, right? But inside a group of scientists there might be multiple type of scientists, group of engineers, right? It is also class, like, but group of engineer, if I'm talking about the group of engineer, means inside of that group of engineer there is a multiple type of engineer might come, like it's electrical engineer, civil engineer, mechanical engineer, computer science engineer. What kind of engineer they are? That is coming under the object, right? Again, if you are considering the electrical engineer, that is also can be considered as a class, right? Because inside of electrical engineer it's not specified anything, right? But electrical engineer, if I'm talking about electrical engineer, if I'm taking some name like, okay, electrical engineer who did the engineering from the IIT and who scored 90%, then we are going to consider a particular engineer, right? So class is what? Class is the blueprint of any object which which not occupied any space in the memory. Now object is what? Object is the real-time entity which having the state and behavior, and which actually occupies some space in the memory. Now if you are creating the class, if you are creating the class, and if we are not initializing the object, if we are not creating the object of that particular class, means it not occupy any space in the memory, right? So we have seen with the very good example, you want one phone, what you will do, you will go to the electronics shop, and inside of electronics, as soon as you will reach to the electronics shop, there will be one person which is called shopkeeper or owner of the shop, and he will ask, or he or she will ask, hello ma'am, good afternoon, how may I help you, what kind of phone you are looking for? So as soon as he's going to deliver this kind of templated message, you are going to say hey, I need one phone, and then he's asking, may I know what your budget, what kind of configuration you are looking for? Then you are going to give this kind of information, and this information he is going to gather, and he's going to ask his servant, right? Servant is basically what? Reference variable. This is what? Interpreter. This is what? Programmer. And this complete SOAP is what? Memory, right? If you are going to correlate this thing. So he's calling his servant, hey servant, come here. So as soon as servant is getting called, servant is taking this information, object, this is called object attribute, and state and behavior. Whatever object he is going to bring, that object having some, should have some state and behavior, right? This is the state and behavior of that particular object: budget, RAM, ROM, screen size, this kind of thing, right? So he is calling that reference variable, and he is giving this kind of information to this reference variable, and reference variable is going inside of this SOP, and he's going to bring all this information, and this complete loop is getting closed. So that these are the things we have seen, and now we have seen this as well, how we are going to declare the class. Class can be declared by the class keyword, and the class name can be given by anything, but I have told like class name should be camel case letter, like first letter always should be capital. Correct. So this is the class. Now we have seen within the Python class, we can represent the data using the variable, and the variable can be three types, like an instance variable, static object level variable. Instance variable means like an object level variable. Static variable is the class level variable. Local variable is the method level variable. I'll talk about these things. Instance variable to yesterday only we have seen. I will show you how you can understand this is the instance variable. We also have seen method. Class can contain method as well, or variable. Then method is also three type. One is instance method, second is class method, static method. Okay. Now we have seen constructor. What is the constructor? Constructor is the special method in the Python, and it is like it used to initialize the instance variable, and the main purpose of the constructor declare the instance variable and initialize the instance variable. There is a two type of constructor we have seen: default constructor and parameterized constructor. This is called default constructor, and default constructor will get called as soon as you are creating the object of the class, right? This is called default constructor. Now we have seen the parameterized constructor as well, and inside a parameterized constructor is what, like we are going to pass the parameters inside of constructor, and so as soon as you are going to create a parameterized constructor, default constructor will not get called at all. So keep these things in your mind. Whenever you are creating the parameterized constructor, default constructor will not get called, right? And we have seen this is the method, and we created this thing. Okay. And whatever variable you are creating here inside of constructor, this is called instance variable. Okay, this is called instance variable. Why it is calling the instance variable? Because this variable I can call with the class level object. Means what I'm trying to say, let me show you. If I'm executing this, and if I will control A, okay. So obj equal to student. Let's suppose I'm going to create this constructor. Okay, and inside of constructor we have to, okay, we have to give these things, because if you will call these things, it will throw an error. No, it's not throwing error. Why it not throws error? Okay, got it. So 1 minute. Student. Okay, so what happened? Sorry, my bad. Like, okay, if you are going to create a parameterized constructor, if you are going to create a parameterized constructor, then also you can call the default constructor. See, can you see this? There we call the default constructor. And now if you want to access the name, standard and marks, then you can call this, right? Object. Why it get called? Because this is not parameterized constructor. This is not this is still a parameterless constructor, default constructor. Can you see this? Here no parameters are there. I was talking about something this place. So let me execute these things, And what I'm trying to say, let's suppose control M B. And if I will, this will throw an error. Let me show you. Object is equal to these things. If I'm going to execute, it should throw an error, type error. Can you see this? Init function missing 3 required position argument, which is called XYZ, because this is not a default constructor, right? It got override with the parameterized constructor. So if as soon as you are creating the parameterized constructor, and if you are trying to call the default constructor, it will throw an error, right? So we have to pass parameters here. So we pass these parameters here. And now let me show you one thing. Let me show you, like it is the instance variable. How you can say it's an instance variable? It's an instance variable. This name you have to call with this name. Can you see this? Because we are able to call this variable with the object name, means class level object. That's what it is called, instance variable. So whatever variable is declared inside of constructor, which is called instance variable. We will talk about the static variable and we will talk about the local variable. Any question so far? No question? Cool. So let me start today's class then. Okay. So we know how to create a method. We know how to create a constructor. Now question is, what is the difference between the constructor and method? Okay. Can anyone help me to write the difference between the constructor and method definition? Anyone want to try? No one. Cool. So method, if I'll talk about method, I'm going to write the method here and I'm going to write constructor here. Okay, constructor here. So let me show you. Number one, method. The name of method can be anything. Can be anything, right? Can be anything. Number two, and here constructor name. Number one, constructor name. The constructor name always same, underscore in it, right? यार you see it, तो क्यों नहीं बता रहे हो? Constructor name should always same, underscore in it, right? This is the constructor name. Now coming to the another point, 2 number point. Anyone? Yes, very good, very good. The constructor will not have any return keyword, but it returns something. You know what? It returns the current class instance variable. Means if I will talk about, see, if I'm calling this init function, right? Here I'm calling the object. Here I'm creating the calling the constructor automatically, right? So as soon as I'm calling this constructor, it returning the reference variable of this class, student class ka, means address, all the address. So that if I want to call the talk function, I can call with this object, right? I can call with this reference variable. So if you are going to say these things in an interview, constructor will not return anything, it is completely wrong. Constructor is not have the return keyword, but it return the current class reference variable. Okay, constructor will not have any return keyword, but it return the current class reference variable. That's what you are able to call or any function which is residing inside a class, right? See, it's a constructor is like a self keyword. Self keyword is what is doing? It's doing the it's holding the reference variable of current class, right? So same thing. But function, method or function, both are same, don't worry. Methods will have the return keyword, return keyword, return keyword, which can return anything. Anyone else want to add any definition for constructor? Call for constructor, we no need to call explicitly, है ना? It get call automatically. Explicitly, it get call, it get call, gets call, it gets call automatically. automatically, automatically, while creating the object of the class, है ना? Can you see this example? If I can show you. See, here we have not called init function explicitly, it get called automatically. But to call the talk function, we have to call here, then only this talk function came into the picture, right? So that's what I written here. For the constructor, we no need to call explicitly, it get called automatically while creating the object. But if I will talk about the function, we have to call method explicitly, right? Explicitly. Does it make sense, guys? Oh, sorry, my bad. Thank you. Who is this? Divya or Rupashri? अच्छा, दिव्या बोल रही है. My bad. Method will have return keyword. Okay. So go that place and you can come to this place. Now is it fine? Cool. Thank you. Thank you. And see, fourth number, if I can write inside of method, this is method. Inside the method, we can write the business logic. Business logics. Business logics. Okay. But inside the constructor, what we are going to do? Constructor क्या करता है? Inside the constructor, no one is going to answer. Inside the constructor, we have to declare the variables. कौन सा? Which type of variables we are going to declare? Instance variable. Very good. Instance variable, and initialize the variables, and initialize the variables. Any question in the difference between this constructor and method? No. Very good. Now we are going to discuss different type of method. Okay. Be attentive here. Tomorrow we have a class at 8:30. Okay. हाँ. So don't sleep. Types मतलब सो लेकिन जल्दी उठ जाना. Types of variables. Types of variables. So what are the different type of variable is there? Inside the Python, we have, I already discussed this thing. Now we are going to discuss in detail. Inside the Python, we have three types of variables. Three types of variables. Number one, instance variable. Instance variable. Local variable. Yes, yes. Tell me. Local variable. Very good. Local variable. And third one is static variable. Very good. Method. Oh, sorry. Local static variable. Now, one by one, we will see static variable. Now, first, we are going to discuss about instance variable. What do you mean by the instance variable? Let me talk about the instance variable. Okay. First, we will talk about instance variable. And in say instance variable, if the value of the variable varied from the object to object, then such type of variable is called instance variable. Now, let me show you this part with this example. See, if you can see this variable, right? We created one object, the value is Rajesh 1001 and 80. The value is xyz is this one, but second object, this value got changed, right? So instance variable will get changed with the object to object. Means that's what I wrote, the value of the variable is varied from object to object, then that kind of variable is called instance variable. Did you understood what do you mean by the instance variable? Yes. Now called instance variable. This is called instance variable. So this is called instance variable. Okay. Now where we can declare the instance variable? Can anyone help me? Where we can declare the instance variable? Instance variable can be declared inside of constructor, right? Where we can declare the instance variable? Constructor. Yes. Number one, I can write this instance variable can be declared inside of constructor, inside the constructor by using the self variable, right? By using the self variable. Can you see this? This is the instance variable. This is called instance. Name role is the instance variable. Okay. Now coming to this part, inside of instance method by using the self variable. Inside of instance method by using the self that I have not shown yet. I will show you that thing. Outside the class, outside of the class using the reference variable. Okay, outside the class using the reference variable that I can show you how to declare. This also I have not shown, but I can show you this. So these are the three ways where we can declare the instance variable. Okay, now let me show you. Okay, let me show you these things how we can declare. First, Control MB. Huh? Now we are going to discuss about the instance variable using the self keyword. Okay, and we have already discussed these things. I will do with these things. Okay, so if I will paste it here, so see, this is called number one example. This is the number one example. Instance variable using the self keyword. This is called instance variable. Now, if I'll talk about a quite bit here, I can change the class name. This is called, let it to be this. You guys can understand. So here I'm going to create an object. Object is equal to these things, and here I can write name is first name is name, right? Rajesh. Second name is roll number is 1001, and third thing is what? Marks I'm going to write 80. So if I will do these things, and this is my instance variable. Now if you want to call obj is equal to obj dot name. If you want to see obj dot name, my bad, obj dot name, I can get Rajesh. And now one thing, just notice here, Control A, Control C, Control V. If I want to change Rajesh to Manisha, okay, if I will change this, and now if I will call obj dot name, let me show you. Can you see this? This name got changed. This is also called reference variable, and this is the this outside the third class by using the reference variable. See, this is the example of third declaration of instance variable using the outside the class by using the reference variable. Why it is called reference variable? Because I told you, whenever we are creating the constructor is not returning anything, but constructor return the current class reference variable. So whenever I could call this constructor, reference variable of the current class will get called, means object having the current class reference variable, and this is the current class reference variable, and with this I am going to call the name variable, and I am going to override this name variable with some new thing. Did you understood that how we can call the constructor, how we can initialize the instance variable inside of constructor using the self keyword, and outside the class using the current class reference variable? Yes. So two things we have seen, right? Inside of constructor using the self variable, and outside of the class using the current class or reference variable. Yes. So we understood that how we can initialize the instance variable and how to access those things, right? Now, second point I want to show, third point, two things we have already shown you, right? A third point I wanted to show you. Third point, second point, inside the instance method using the self variable. So let me show you this part. Okay, let me show you this part. So what I'm trying to do, let me show you class. I'm going to make a one class test, and here I'm going to create a one def underscore init underscore init underscore. Here I'm going to write self. Okay, and here I'm going to create few variables. Self dot a is equal to 20. Okay, and self dot b is equal to 30, and here I'm going to create another function def, and here I'm going to create a one method called m1, and here I'm going to write the self, and I want to initialize third instance variable here, which is called c, self dot c, and here I'm going to write 30. Just observe this. I have created these things. Now what I'm trying to do, just try to understand. Just try to understand. Now here I'm going to create an object of this class test. You can give any name, TOBG, whatever it is. So I created a constructor, and now if I want to access t dot a, sorry, if I want to access t dot a, can I access 20? Yes. If I want to access t dot b, can I able to access 30? Yes. If I want to access t dot c, it will throw an error. It will throw an error. Why? Because this instance variable is not a part of constructor, so it not call automatically. So it has to call because it is a function. So we have to call t dot m1 function, and as soon as we are calling t dot m1, this c got initialized, this instance variable got initialized, and we are able to access the 30. Now you understood? Cool. Yes, that's okay. Now next point is we have seen instance. Now we are going to discuss another topic which is called static variable. Okay, are you guys getting enjoy now? It's not something like boring kind of thing. Very good. Now second point we are going to discuss static variable. Okay, what do you mean by the static variable? Okay, let me explain these things with my diagram. I always help this diagram. I don't have notebook. Where is that? Let me connect. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. So let's suppose you have to collect a data of your college student. You have to collect a data of your college students, right? Not college student, university के सारे student के data को you have to collect. You guys are able to understand, right? If I am talking something in Hindi. Yeah, that's okay. Means like thoda thoda you are understanding or thoda thoda you are making understand. Okay, and but generally 90% classes I'm taking in English, right? So don't worry about that at all, right? Okay, but I'll try to make it 100%. That if I'm speaking in Hindi, that punchline will not come, because the punchline is very important to make you understand and make you awake, because people used to sleep in the online classes because no one is coming with the video, right? That's the first thing. So I am also not coming with the video, students also not coming up with the video. Sometimes people used to eat, they having their lunch, dinner, and they used to take a class. So it is very pathetic. That's what I always used to use my punchline in some in between of my conversation. But anyways, so what I'm trying to say, this is the university. Let's suppose this is the university. Which from which university you guys studied? Sorry. Acha, this is university. Okay. Bangalore City University. Let's suppose this is your university. Okay, this is your university. Anyways, and in this university there can be multiple colleges will be there, right? One, two. Let's suppose three colleges is there. So college one, this is college one, college two, college three. Okay, and inside of college there will be multiple department. For example, mechanical, civil, electronics, and computer science, whatever it is. Similarly for C2, C3, C4, C5. Okay, whatever it is. Now you have to collect all the information of the students, right? So what are the information? Let's suppose first college one. Okay. For the college one, I have to collect all the student information, right? So I will go in first in the mechanical. Why it is just mechanical department. So what are the things will be there? Number one, name, student name, father's name, college name. हाँ बोलो 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 बोलो. Register number, phone number also. हाँ एड्रेस भी ले लेते हैं. हाँ, और कुछ. बस I think this is more than enough for college student one. Similarly for the student two. Okay, let me fill this thing. Okay, let's suppose Divya is going to fill. Divya. Huh? Divya, and father name is XYZ, just for example. College name is XYZ. ठीक है. And register number is 123, and phone number is 112, just for example. Address is XYZ, not XYZ, ABC, otherwise everything will be same. Okay, similarly for student 2. Okay, 2 number student is Rupa. ठीक है. Rupa is going to say father's name, her father name is WXY. ठीक है. And college name is something. College name will be same because you guys are studying in the same college, right? So college name will be same. Register number is 3456. Phone number, Divya's phone number 992, just for example. And other address, I am going to write Dia. Okay, now just try to understand, like these 300 students are there. Okay, so everyone will feel one thing common. Can anyone help me what will be the common in everyone data? Correct. College name will be the same, right, for all the students. So let's suppose 300 students are there, means you are going to store 300 value, means 300 memory. Let's suppose this is your memory allocation. Okay, this is your memory allocation, and in this memory allocation 300 partitions are you made, and in all the 300 places you are going to store same type of data. Is it good practice of coding? No, it's not a good practice of coding, right? So you have to manage it, because you are going to store the same data in the 300 places, means you are not utilizing the memory. So in order to overcome this kind of problem, we are going to learn static variable. Now with you guys. If in interview someone is asking what is a static keyword, can you help, can you explain them with this diagram? Because if you are able to explain this diagram, I think they will be more than satisfied whatever definition you are going to give, right? So static variable is used to, sorry, static keyword is used to memory management thing, memory utilization thing, right? So you can help them to understand. See sir, here 300 student data we are going to store, and every student one information is common, which is called college name, college name xyz xyz xyz. So in order to store this xyz at the 300 places, why we cannot store at the single places from where any student can access this information, right? So this thing is known as static keyword. This can be achieved by static keyword. Now let's understand. Now let me show you the definition. Okay, guys, any questions so far? Can anyone help me to understand? Did I make you understand? So definition is, if the value of a variable is not varied from the object to object, such type of variable we have to declare with the class directly but outside the method, directly but outside the method. Such type of variable is called the static variable. Okay, now let me show you. Okay, let me show you these things. So what I'm trying to say, so if I will talk about difference between the instance, okay, now tell me the difference between the instance variable and static variable. Can anyone ever try this? Difference between instance variable and static variable. Okay. So in case of instance variable, for every object, separate copy will be get created. Means if I will show you, see, can you see this? This example actually. So see, one object we created, a separate copy of this object has been created, right? Second object we created, the separate copy will get created, right? So that's what I wrote. That's what I'm going to write here as well. Instance variable, in case of instance variable, every object separate copy will get created. Every object separate copy will get created. But in the case of static variable, for total class, only one copy will get created. But in case of static variable, for total class, one copy will get created. Let me show you this example. If I can show you with the example, then the things will get clear. Hey guys, are you guys doing the practice or not in your home? Because I'm not seeing. I will take a directly mock interview. Means like in this week, like after this week, your mock interview will be there. Don't take lightly. I be frankly with you all, but while doing the guidance and training, it's something like a different situation. TEF underscore underscore init underscore underscore self. So can anyone help me? Can anyone help me to understand what is X here, what is Y here? Y तो समझ में आता है, ये किस टाइप का वेरिएबल है? What type of variable it is? Anyone? It's an instance variable. See, inside of constructor we have wrote, and we use the self variable. That's what it's an instance variable. What is this? Just I told you. And this is called static variable. Okay, this is called static variable. Let me show you this static variable. Hash. Okay. Now just try to understand. Let's suppose I am going to create an object T1 is equal to test. And here, if I will call T1, let me print this. Print T dot T1 dot T1 dot Y. Okay. So I am able to get 20. Okay. But if I will print t1 t1 dot x. Still I am getting, okay, very good, very good. Now let me show you one thing. If I will print test dot x, still I am getting, okay, let me print test is the class, huh? And if this time I will try to print y, I am getting very error. Okay, why? Because this x is the class level variable, so you can call with the class name itself, and but you can call with the object saving. See, this object is nothing but the address of the class, right? So with the address also you can call, or with the class also you can call, right? So that's only I showed you. But why? Why is the instance variable? Means to call the instance variable, you definitely need a reference variable, means object, and with the object only you can call the y. That's what it throws an error. Because with the test, you cannot call the y. Did you guys understand the difference between the static instance variable? Any question? Very good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Pretty much good. Now, let me show you another thing. So, cell type, markdown. You both are staying near to each other, right? No? You are staying where? Divya, you told right, Whitefield, I think. Acha, Hepal sir. And you, Rupa? Okay. So, how to access the static variable? Inside of constructor, we can access static variable using self or class name, self or class name. Second, inside the instance method by using either self or class name, by using self or class name. Matlab instance method are what? These are the method is known as the instance method. This is called instance method. Okay. So you can access. And inside the class, using either class variable or CLS variable or class name. Using the inside the class, using the CLS variable. CLS is the variable like a self variable or class name. Okay. Inside the static method by using the class name. Inside the static method, inside the static method by using the class name. And fifth is from outside the class by using either object reference variable or by using object reference variable or class name. See, just now we have seen, see, test dot y से भी call कर सकते हैं and t dot y से भी we can call कर सकते, sorry, test dot x से भी we can call and t1 dot x से भी we can call, right? So both the things we, is it possible, right? Now let me show you this. Any questions so far so fair? No question, right? Very good. So let me show you these things. So let's suppose we have one class test. I'm telling you frankly, like this, from this oops concept, lot of question will come. So here, be attentive here. A is equal to 10, and here I'm going to write def init underscore underscore. Here I'm going to write self, and here I'm going to write print. Let's suppose if I have to call the A here. So inside of constructor, see first point, inside of constructor by using the self or class name, right? So I can call print. Something is there, I don't know. Print self dot A you can call, or you can call print test dot A. Yes, you can call these things. That's okay. Now, inside of instance variable, second point, inside of instance method by using the self or class name. Okay. So we are going to create one function def underscore underscore init. This is called function underscore underscore. And here I'm going to write self. And here I'm going to write what I can write? Print. Oh, not init. I bad. It should be M1. Inside of instance method, you can call using self keyword or using class name test.v. Okay, that is okay. Now what I can do, obj is equal to test, and here I am going to write obj dot m1. If I will call m1, I will get 10. Can you see this 10 10? Because we can call with this variable and we can call with these things. Okay, right. Now if the method is, there is a different type of method I can show you. So let's suppose inside of third point is second 2 point we understood, right? This 2 point has been covered. Now coming to the class method, how you can declare the class method. So let me declare the class method. So def here class method. So if you want to declare anything as a class method, so class method you can call class method at the rate of class method decorator you have to use. If you are declaring the method with the at the rate of class method, then dfm2 will be considered as a class method. Okay, this will be considered as a class method, and here you can declare print. Same thing, I will copy paste from upper line. This will be considered as a this, but inside of class method, inside of class method you can use the cls variable or class name. You can use the cls variable or class name, right? So if you are trying to call the instance variable using the self, it will throw an error. It will throw an error. I can show you, because obj, if I'm going to hit this once again, and here I'm going to write obj.m2, obj.m2, it will throw an error. 1 minute. CLS variable or class name? Class method. Inside of class method, m2, yeah. 1 minute, let me show you these things. Acha, got it. I have to use here CLS variable, and now you can use this CLS. That's okay. So now if I'll call, yeah, this is fine now. Okay, so actually this is the variable name, right? You can give the CLS or cell, both other things is fine. But if you are going to create a class method, it's a convention of programming, you always use the CLS variable instead of cell. So it denote that this m2 is a class method. So class method, how to declare the class method? That's the first question. Class method can be declared by the simple function only, but you have to use on the top of that class method. That's only. Now coming to the static method. Inside of static method, how we can call? Inside of static method, see how to create a static method. That's the first question. To create a static method, we can use, yes, we can use the static method decorator. THOD static method, and here I'm gonna write df m3. And if you are going to create a static method, you no need to declare any self or class variable here inside a function. That's because it's a class level variable, right? Why you have to declare these things? So you no need to declare these things. So here I'm gonna write print, and here I'm gonna write so you can call with the test class name. Class name से ही आप call कर सकते हो. Name error. static. Oh, it is fine. Now if I'll call m3, obj.m3, you can call 10. So hope you understood how to call the static variable inside of different type of function. These are the different type of function. That's the one is constructor, this is instance function, this is the class function, this is the static function, and we have discussed all those pointers. Any question, guys? That's okay. Now, that's a first question, very peculiar interview point of question. Okay, I am leaving on you now. I cannot expect with you these things. Uh, so let's suppose if we are going to create an instance variable, we can update the instance variable, right? We have seen Rajesh ko Manisha kiye the somewhere. Did you guys remember? Yeah. Can you see this? We can update the instance variable, right? But the question is how to update the static variable. Well, we can modify static variable. Okay. So static variable can be modified. Battery low. Okay. Just 1 minute. Eyes are getting pain. Okay. So anywhere either with the class. So where we can modify the value of static variable, right? So my answer is anywhere either just like that. Eyes are getting pain. Either within the class or outside of the class, we can modify by using class name. Either within the class or outside the class, we can modify by using class name. But inside the class method, by using CLS variable. For example, if I want to show you this example, so then let's suppose we have a class, we have a test, here I'm gonna write 7777, and I'm going to write at the rate of class method, here I'm going to write def m1 CLS variable you can use, and here I want to change this a ka value dot a with something 8888. Okay, now if I will see static function that at the rate of static def m2, no need to create any kind of reference variable here, test dot a is equal to, I'm going to make it 9999. Okay, now if I will call print, let me show you, be attentive here, test dot a. I'm getting 777. That's okay. Now what I can call, I can call m1 method, test dot m1. I'll call this test dot m1. Now if I will call test dot a, I'm getting 88 because it value got updated. Now I will call test dot m2. If I'll call test dot m2, now if I will call test dot a, I will get 999. Did you guys understood how to change the variables, right? Okay, cool. Very good, very good. Now let me show you something. Okay. Now how to delete the static variable of a class? So to delete the static variable, so let's suppose I want to delete the a. I'm not going to take again example, okay? So to delete, syntax will be syntx. Syntax will be same. del keyword, delete, and here will be the class name dot variable name. Okay, this is the way to delete. अरे यार, ठीक है. So now I can show you. Let's suppose a I have to delete. ठीक है. So how I can delete? del class name is test, right? Test dot a. If I'll do that, now if I'll call test dot a, it will throw an error. Attribute error, has no attribute a. Can you see this? Because it got deleted. Cool, 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 cool. That's okay. Now let me say. Now we are going to discuss about the local variable. So we understood instance variable, we understood the static variable. Now we are going to discuss about the local variable. Any questions so far, guys? That's okay. Very good. So local variable. What do you mean by the local variable, by the way? It's a local bus stop. It's a local shop. It's a local man. It's a local kutta. It's a local cat. Local cow. What do you mean by this? Local variable is something which know by the local people only. Means who is going to mark these things? Local. It's a local shop. That person is also local man, right? That's what they know. Did you guys understand? So local area, local bus stop, right? So local variable sometime like the scope of that variable is only at that particular area or certain area. That kind of variable is known as the local variable. So where should you create a local variable? Let's suppose you created one class, and inside of class one function is there like m1, and inside of function you have to create one variable which you are not going to use outside of this function. Then always recommended create a local variable. Do not create an instance variable, a static variable, because if you are creating the instance variable and static variable, means the scope of that variable will be alive till the object life cycle is going on. Means it will consume the memory until unless the object scope is not getting down, right? So we always have to keep these things in our mind. What kind of variable we needed? Do we need this variable have to be used in the different function? If it is yes, then create an instance variable, a static variable. If it is only applicable for the certain function, then create a local variable. Does it make sense, guys? So let me write that things what I told you in the word. So sometime we meet a temporary requirement of the program, we can declare the variable inside of method directly. Such type of variable are called local variable or temporary variable. Okay, this is called local variable or temporary variable. Local variable will be created at the time of method execution and destroy the method got complete. Means the same thing. Means like I can show you just a minute. These things, this practically I can show you. Let's suppose we are going to create one class is equal to class test I'm going to create, and inside of class test I'm going to create a def m1, and here I'm going to write self. Okay, beware here. So here I'm going to create a is equal to 1000, ठीक है, and print a, ठीक है, print a. So this variable is called local variable because we created inside a function, right? This is called local variable. This is called local variable. This is called local variable. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to create one more function def m2, and here I'm going to create a cell. Now here I'm going to write b is equal to 20, b is equal to 2000 something, and here I'm going to write print b. Here I'm going to write print b. Okay. Now we understood this thing. Now what I'm going to do, just try to understand. Huh? I'm going to create an object of my test class, and we executed this. No, we don't need to execute. And now if I'll call this t dot m1, I can see 1000. Okay. Similarly, if I will call t dot m2, I can see 2000. But let's suppose if I want to access t dot a, it will throw an error because this a is not an instance variable or not a static variable as well. So you cannot call outside of this function. This is a local variable. Did you guys understood? Cool. Any question in this variable? Three type of variable: static variable, instance variable, and local variable. Now tell me the difference between the instance and local variable and static variable. Chalo, one by one. 1 point Divya will say, 1 point Rupa will say. Again 1 point Divya, 1 point Rupa. Let's go ahead. Hmm. Cool. Second point, Rupa. Hmm. Okay, good. And how we can change the static variable inside of class method? Acha, what are the different way to change the static variables value? No, it depends where you want to change. You should not tell like this in using CLS or something. It depends कि आप कहाँ change करना चाहते, where you want to change. Right? Same thing I have written here as well. Somewhere static variable, and how to access the static variable, and where we can modify the value. Can you see this? So inside of class method, if you want, yes. So if you want to update the static variable inside of class method, you have to use the CLS variable. But if you want to update the inside of static method, then you have to use the class name. So it depends where you want to change. Okay, cool. So we understood the variable, right? Now we are going to discuss about the another thing which is called types of method. Any question before wrapping it up? Instance variable, I want to ask question, like any question. Can we start type of method now? Cool. Allow me 2 minutes. I'll let me bring the water. Okay, cool. Now let's discuss about, are we back? I am speaking, so I need water. You guys are not speaking. Hello, am I audible? Cool. Types of variable. Inside of Python, we have three types of method. Okay? Number one is what? Instance method. Like an instance variable, instance method. Number one is the instance method. Number two is the class method. Number three is the static method. Again, the use why static method, the same story. College, school, student. Now let me show you instance method first. Number one, instance method, INSTANC, instance method. That's okay. Instance method. Inside the method implementation, if we are using instance variable, then such type of method are called instance method. Means inside a method implementation, if we are using the instance variable, then such type of method are called as instance variable. Instance variables. Sorry, instance method. Instance method. For example, let me show you. Here is one class, student. And if I'm going to write def underscore underscore init, underscore init, and here I'm going to write self name comma marks. Okay. And here I'm going to initialize self.name. This self.name is what? Can anyone help me? What is the name? What type of variable it is? Correct. It's an instance variable. I'm going to initialize this instance variable with the local variable. This is called local variable. This is local variable. What is here inside of it? And this is the instance variable. I'm going to initialize the local variable, instance variable with the local variable. That's all. And here I'm going to write self dot marks. Marks is equal to marks. Okay. This is okay. Now here I'm going to create this is called instance variable. Just try to understand display. So wherever you are going to write a self keyword in self variable, that will be declared as an instance variable. Now if I want to use this variable inside of this function, then this function will be considered as an instance function. Okay. So here just for example print, and here I'm going to write the message hi, and I'm going to write whom I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna say hi self dot name. जो भी name से initialize होगा उसको मैं hi लिखने जा रहा हूँ. And print, and here I'm going to write your marks. Your marks are colon. Your marks are, and here I'm gonna write self dot marks. एक मिनट self dot marks. Self dot marks, and I'm gonna declare these things. So, oh, your marks are this thing. Now similarly, this is okay. This is called instance variable, right? This is called instance variable. Okay. Now let me show you. This is called instance method. Now, if I will create an object for this, says for example, I'm going to create an object of this class student, and here I'm going to initialize with these things because this is the parameterized constructor. And here I'm going to write 100%. And if I'm going to call stu is my reference variable, and if I'll call the display function, right, and I can see the message. Okay, this is called this function is called what? Can anyone help me? This function is called what? This function is called instance function. Yes, instance method or method. This is called instance method. This is called instance method. Okay, fine. So we understood the instance method. Now question is, I'm going to give you one assignment right now. So whatever marks you are getting from here, based on the marks, you have to write a function. Inside of this class, you have to create a method which will declare whether this student name is passed with which grade. Means grade I'm going to say here. Let's suppose if someone is passing, someone marks is falling between 90 to 100, then this student got a grade of A plus. Okay, A plus. Just for example, similarly, if someone is getting passed with 70 to 90, someone marks is falling between 70 to 90, means not 70, 80 to 90, just for 80 to 90, then this student, this is the question, A grade. Similarly, someone is getting like 70 to 80, then this marks will fall under B positive. B positive. This is your question. Right now, you guys have to do. And someone marks is falling between 90 to 60 to 70. Then this student will come under B grade. And if someone marks is falling between 50 to 60, then okay, I made a mistake. This should be 89. This should be 89, and this should be 80 to 89. This should be 79, and this should be 69. This should be 69, and this should be 50 to 59. Okay, this should be 59. Then this will be grade will be C plus. Okay, C plus. And someone is coming under 40 to 49. 40 to 49. Write down this logic. 40 to 49. Then this student grade will be C. And someone marks is below the 40, then we can mark them as a false, fail. Then we can mark them. Someone marks is below 40, then this student will be considered as a fail grade. Fail grade. Okay. Fail grade. Okay. So this is fine. So you have to create a function here. You can create this function here, grade df grade, and here I'm gonna write here something like you already getting these marks right here, and based on the marks you have to just take a decision here. What grade will fall? So you have to write this condition. Guys, you have to do now. I'll give you the 5 minutes of time. I'm giving the whole function here over the chat. Just do it now, quickly. This is that function, and this is the logic you have to build. Do it. Are you able to do, guys? Yes, no? Cool. Not try, you have to. Okay, just do it. Do it. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I will be back. Okay, send me that method. अच्छा 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 अच्छा। देखो भाई, पहला तो रूपाश्री का आई थिंक इट सीम्स लाइक समथिंग इज फाइन। I think Rupashri is correct, and it is scored. This is not correct. No, no. Both other things is wrong. Let me tell you why. See, So here is the marks is inside of marks variable, where from where you are going to store the score. How you will get a score? There is no variable name as score, right? And this marks is the instance variable, and instance variable we have to call with the self keyword, right? Sorry, self variable. So it's wrong. So you have to notice, that's what I shared. Okay, let me do these things. So how we can do, if self dot marks is fall greater than, let me write the greater than 90, greater than equal to 90, and self dot marks less than equal to 100, less than equal to 100, then just return for a plus, return a plus. Okay, same logic I can write for other things as well. Command C, command V, and here self dot marks will be greater than, this should greater than 89, 89, greater than 80, yes, greater than 80, and less than, greater than equal to less, and less than, that's good, that's good. And here it should be 80. Same, simple, it's very simple, and it should not be if condition, it should be else. Okay, so I can write this as well, control C, control V, and here I can write 70, right? Greater than 70, and this should be 79. And this I can write B plus, and I can write this as well, 79, 70, this should be 60, this should be 60, that's good, 69. And here I can write B grade, and similarly, yes, very good, 50 to 59, 50 to 59, 59, and this should be C plus, and simple, this will be this, and this will be 40 to 49, 49, this will be C, this will be C, and else I gonna write else, inside of else condition, return fail. Okay, is it okay? This makes sense, guys. Now let me do one thing. So I have called this function high display, and now I'm going to create these things as well. And now I will call stu dot grade function. I'm going to call grade function, and here I'm going to write nothing, and you are getting a plus. Let's suppose I will do one thing. I will create another object instance here. Here I'm going to write Rupa. Okay. And this will be 90. And display, and Rupa is a plus. Now I will create for Divya Sil. Can you see this? This is called copy of object. Okay. So here I'm going to write Divya. See, one very Divya, Divya. And this time Divya, I'll make it 60. And I'll do this, and Divya marks is B. Can you see this? This is the logic we have written. Now see, we started the code with the 1 or 2, 3 line of code. Now the code strength is getting increased, 3 line, 23, 30, till 30, 40 line of code we are going to write. So going forward, these things will get quite harder, right? It will be go. And are you facing any problem to write the code? It's very simple, right? It's just a copy paste of thing, right? Any doubt? No doubt. Cool. Now let's discuss about class method. We have seen the instance method, right? Now we are going to discuss about the class method. Second method is the class method. Okay. Class method. Okay. Inside of method, inside the method implementation, if we are going to use only class variable, then that kind of method is called as class method. Inside the method implementation, if we are using only class variable or static variable, then such type of method is declared as a class method. And we can declare the class method explicitly by using class method decorator, that we have seen, right? um, and for the class method should provide CLS variable instead of self variable. This is not mandatory, but it's a good programmer practice, right? Let me show you these things as well with the demo program. So let's suppose we have a class called animal, and here I'm going to create a legs, legs is equal to 4. Okay, and here I'm trying to do CLS class method, and here I'm going to write def walk, and here I'm going to write cls. This is a variable, a reference variable of the class level, and here I'm going to write name. Okay, and here I'm going to write walk. Okay, so print, I'm going to write print app string. I'll use the app string, and here I'm going to write uh, uh, here I'm going to write name cow walks with 4 legs. Legs. It's a class variable, right? So class variable, you can use the CLS variable dot legs legs. Now let me execute this code and let me call this animal animal and dot walk. If I'll call walk, and here I'm going to write cow, cow. If I'll write cow walks with 4 legs. Okay. Similarly, if I will write here dog walks with 4 legs. So this is called class method. Because here we use the class variable. Can you see this? And also we use explicitly this class at the rate of class decorator. Okay. Any question in the class method? No question. Okay. Any question? Okay. Now we are going to discuss another thing which is called static method. We are going to discuss about the static method. What do you mean by the static? Tell me. Static method or static variable, we just discussed, both other things are same. There is a no difference. Yes. So what I was talking. Okay. So 1 minute. So what I was talking about, the static method or static variable, those variable which we are going to create only once and want to use in the all the object copy. Then that moment we are going to declare those kind of variable or method as a static method or static variable. In case of Python, how we are going to declare the static method? With the static method decorator. Like how we declare the class method with the class method decorator. Similarly. Hmm? Hmm. Let's suppose. So what is the definition here? Let me write down the definition. In general, this method are general utility method. This is called general utility method because these are the things is going to be used for every function, right? And inside this method, we won't use any instance of the class, any instance of class variable. Here we won't provide the self or class argument. Okay, this is also one thing. So let me show you this part with some example. Okay, So what I'm trying to say, let's suppose we have a class, uh, math class math. Okay, this is my class math, and here I'm going to create one static method at the rate of static static method, and here I'm going to create a function called def add, and here inside of add I'm going to pass two variable x comma y. Okay, and if I will if I will print sum, the sum is comma x plus y. This is that summation. Now what I can do, similarly I will do the another thing, at the rate of static method, static method, and here I'm going to create one called def product method I'm going to create, and here I'm going to create, see, like other function is class method or instance method, where the first argument is denoting as a reference variable, but in case of a static method it is not like that. That's what I wrote here. We won't provide any kind of self or cls argument at the time of declaration. It's everything is the local variable. Okay, so here I'm going to write x comma y, and then I'm going to write print, and here if I'm writing here print the product, the product is comma x into y. Same thing you can do for the division and subtraction. I don't have any problem. And now I am going to call the math dot add. I'm going to call because it's a static method, and here I'm going to pass 3 comma 90. It should be 93, and we are getting the summation is 93. Similarly, if you want to call the product, can we do that? Yes, we can do that. Why not? product product, and if I'm calling this, I'm getting the result. The product is 270. That's okay. You can do for the division and multiplication as well. So yeah, we understood different type of variable, different type of method. What are different method and variable we have seen? We have seen instance variable, we have seen static variable, we have seen local variable. Now also we have seen, in case of method, we have seen static method, class method, and instance method. Okay, now if someone is want to give the difference between all the methods, you can give, right? Instance method is what type of method? Instance method are those method which is going to declare inside of class, and where we are going to use the instance variable, and that value is getting changed based on the object to object. Okay, that is called instance variable. Okay, and in our instance method is also same, where inside of method, if we are going to use the instance variable, that method is going to consider as an instance method. Similarly, static variable and static method, static variable are those variable which is declared inside of class, but not inside of constructor. Not inside of constructor, then means it's like a class, what I call class variable, sorry, static variable. And static variable can be used inside of instance method. Yes, we can use using the self keyword, sorry, self variable, as well as class name के साथ भी call कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, inside of class method we can use the class variable to call this static method, static variables. Okay, similarly for the class method, we have seen class method are those variable which is going to declare, which we are where we are going to use the class level variable or static variable. You can say class variable is something called static variable. Both are same, don't be confused. Class variable and static variable both are same. Okay, so if we are going to use the class variable and static variable, that method is going to consider as a class method, and the class method is going to denote with the class method decorator. Okay, decorator is nothing but I will talk about much about the decorator, but as of now just try to understand whatever things is coming with the at the rate of annotator is called decorator, and it is nothing but at the end it is called a method only. I will talk about this decorator in detail in the upcoming session, but as of now just try to understand whatever things is coming with the at the rate of annotation, which is called decorator. Okay, any question? Cool. Now let me give you some question to you guys. Hmm. what the constructor does, what constructor does, constructor is used to initialize the instance variable. Now my question is, what do you mean by the destructor? Yes, it's a simple initialize the instance variable, destruct the instance variable. That's only. So let me show you this part as well. It is very important. I think no one is going to ask the question with the destructor, but yeah, good to know. Okay, destructor is the special type, special method, and name should be underscore underscore del. Delete function, delete very argument, you know, right? Del is something, delete the something, right? Destructor is the special type, like a constructor. How we are going to use the constructor, underscore underscore init, right? This is called constructor. तो डिस्ट्रक्टर को यूज करना तो कैसे यूज करोगे, अंडरस्कोर अंडरस्कोर डिलीट, del underscore underscore. This is called destructor. So let me show you destructor. Control M D. So what I'm trying to say, so here I'm going to write class test def underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and here I'm going to write self, and here I'm going to write print. Just hold on guys, hold on. So so here I'm going to write object initialization, object object initialization. Object initialization is getting done. Now here I'm going to create one destructor. And one more thing, like constructor, destructor will also get called automatically. See, actually in the modern programming languages, we are not going to call the constructor, means like destructor explicitly, but in the older language like C and C++, there is called garbage collector. One thing was coming like a garbage collector, which which we have to call at the end of the programming, right? In the C and C++, if you ever use this thing, there is a called garbage collector concept was there, right? So garbage collector is used to make free your memory after end of the programming. Similarly, here also destructor will get called automatically. Del. And here I'm going to use self variable. Print fulfilling the last, deleting garbage, deleting three of all the allocation. Okay. Now let's show you. Let me show you this. Now if I'm going to create object t is equal to tst, object initialization done. Now just to hold on here dl. Now what I'm trying to show you. Now here what I can do. So just to hold on. Time dot sleep, and here I'm gonna write import time, and here I can write something print end of application. End of application. एक 1 minute. End of application. Okay. So yeah. So now if I will do this thing, free up the memory allocation. Can you see this? Hey guys, can you see this? See, we made we wait for 5 seconds and it got end of application, free of the all the memory. This delete function means destructor got called automatically. हाँ ठीक है ओके ठीक है cool. Cool. That's the only thing I was supposed to discuss about today's session. And tomorrow morning we have a class. We will start the oops basic features like inheritance, polymorphism, or all the sort of things. And today I'll show you. I'll send the recording. Any question before wrapping it up for today's session? Call up. I'm going to call up now. We'll start tomorrow 8:30. Okay. Sure. Cool. 9:30. 1 hour class. Weekday 1 hour. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Cool, guys. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Happy weekend. Enjoy your day. Thank you.